I gotta tell you, reggae music, the healing of the nation. Mark Myrie, the Gargamel Buju Banton on your television this morning. And I gotta tell you, just such a wonderful vibe. Jamaica is absolutely the greatest, the best in the world. You know what I mean? And good morning to everybody watching on our YouTube channel. Please remember to hit the like and the subscribe button. And remember to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend. And if you're watching on Instagram or Facebook, thank you so much for joining us. Well, welcome back. We have a very special feature on the echoes of change. The problem with the P project. Hello.
The P.
The P. It may not be the P that you're thinking. Now, this groundbreaking initiative is empowering boys in upper schools across St. Thomas, Jamaica, through engaging workshops on sexual violence and healthy masculinity. Their aim is to foster understanding and respect to create a safer community for girls and men. Let's dive into this vital conversation with project lead and executive director of Angelic Ladies Society, Sarah Lou Morgan Walker. Good morning and welcome, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. Hi, Dennis.
Sarah Lou,
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too, and all the best to you and your organization for
Thank you
2025. So I know a lot of people are pondering about the P. Sarah Lou, what's the P that you speak of?
Initially, it is the male anatomy. We could have just put it out there, especially we know that we're going to come on interviews like these and in the press, so we kind of concise about it. It covers pornography, it covers peer pressure, it covers the penis, anything that speaks to what would be a problem when it comes to sexual violence amongst boys.
Okay.
And why are these things problematic? Or how are you problematizing them so that you can fix the problem?
All right, so for pornography, we realize that their exposure to pornography is such an extreme that the involvement in the sexual activities that they're having, even on the school compound and the recording of videos, some of them in school to go engage in these activities, they're recording themselves, and it's what they're seeing in pornography, especially with the revenge rape and all of these other types of forceful engagement that they're consuming, that they're trying to reproduce it. And so we find that it's becoming another pandemic. And with the penis, then it is the source of the engagement. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about how you use it. Let's talk about even the act itself, because there's, like I was talking to Natalie before outside, there's no romance in their sexual activity. It is so forceful. It is, when you listen to the songs, it's violent in and
it's
of
rape
itself.
culture.
Yes.
And I will take it a step further, Dennis and Sarah Lou. It's the lyrical pornography to which they're exposed in the music. Because, Dennis, when you're listening to the music, as far as I'm concerned, a lot of the lyrics, a lot of the content, it connotes rape, it connotes violence against women. It just connotes, a degrading of women, put down of women, you know what I mean? What we must do, what we must bite, what we must chew and swallow. And I'm like, excuse me.
I mean, that sounds mild. Some of them I listen to, because I have to listen to a number of them to be able to engage them in the conversation when I go to the school. Some of them are talking about bashing a girl's head on the wall and all of it. And I'm like, how is that sex? How is that sexual activity?
Well, it speaks to a warping of our ideas of intimacy, which you are saying is also a problematic. And of course, we've spoken about peer pressure for many years. And the ways in which it manifests. So you're focusing on boys in particular and trying to reach them. Are you engaging men in this
conversation, right? So that was one of the things that we wanted to do, because from last year's interview with She Speaks that we are an organization that focuses primarily on girls, women and young women and girls. And so when we got the appeal from the guidance counselors as to,
incorporate the boys.
The boys need this kind of conversation. We realized that we weren't as equipped to have these conversations. Talking to the boys and understanding what they need is one thing, but having the expertise and bringing on that kind of male support is also going to be important. And so we have with the male empowerment officer for St. Thomas, who is assigned to the entire parish for the schools. We are working with the Bureau of Gender Affairs, their male empowerment officers there. So they will be coming to some of the schools with us to do the facilitation sessions. And then we have one of my chairman is a guidance counselor at a school in St. Anne. He will be a part of the program as well. So we are trying to incorporate the restorative justice in the parish is participating. It used to be a male, but it's a female now, but they are sending us some of their male representatives to be a part of the sessions. Because one of the things that we were advised is that males are more comfortable talking to males. And also we were also told the flip side, that if you have the vibe, they will be comfortable talking to females. And so we kind of created that balance.
May I just ask though, you know, we often look at the males as the perpetrators of the violence, you know, the violence producers, right? But talk to me a little bit about, I don't know if you have those statistics or an idea of how many of our boys are actually abused. Because, you know, Dennis made a very salient point earlier that a lot of the perpetrators were boys who were abused and then they turn out to become abusers. Do we have any empirical data regarding how abused our boys are?
I think under the rug, it may be a lot, but in terms of data itself, empirical data, because they refuse to report it because of the stigma that is associated around it. You know what is
it's
that?
Sketchy.
Yeah, you know, or you're in a gallis or whatever we are talking about, whatever. So, and then the whole idea of the shame that comes with it to say that you have been, you know, abused by another male. They don't want to talk about it. A lot of them, though, when we go to the schools, we would hear from the guidance counselors, you know, without the details of the who and the when and the where, but we'd hear the stories of the boys who have been abused by
women too.
By women, not just by men.
Because I think, you know, we have a culture, you see, Dennis, that says, put out little boy to the girl, them and to big woman, right?
Yeah, because you try to make sure
you know what I mean?
And
you want to make sure.
Early, especially when they go to these, one of the things I found interesting, especially when you go to rural parishes, is that they get more exposed, and the early exposure sometimes come from these funeral settings. When they go to the dead and the night and all of these, it's not real, it's a old party vibe.
They
send these little kids that are
dance with the big women.
And so they get very exposed from early.
I've seen videos where you see these big women and these little boys, them look like ants on a dollar bread. And you have like, little boy, you need to go to your bed. And lady, why are you facilitating this? And I think it's cute.
And not only that, it's not the lady and the boy alone, the person recording it. So,
and everybody cheering it on.
You're sick. They find this is content for you to
You mentioned rural areas. I mean, your focus area is on St. Thomas. Are there St. Thomas specific challenges and St. Thomas specific solutions that you're exploring?
I wouldn't say that they're restricted to St. Thomas, but so far, once we've done the
because different parishes have unique challenges.
But when we go to the schools in St. Thomas, some of the challenges that they're having is a lot of it, when you go to all the schools, they're having sex on the school compound in empty classrooms, and because it's a rural area, the schools are surrounded by bush. They are making use of the bushes. So that is an issue in a lot of the schools that are there. I mean, some of the issue is inappropriate touching. You know, the slapping on the butt or and then the groping. One of the things I found very interesting though is the flip of the script. So in past, it was the boys that were pursuing the girls and doing all, you know, the inappropriate touching. In this generation, it's a flip. The girls we've identified are more brazen. They are touching the boys and feeling it and saying to them that you're small, you're not big enough or whatever, because what they're consuming in the lyrical content of the music as well as the pornographic stuff that they may be watching and recording themselves are some big things they want. And so if they don't want a lower school boy, if they're in lower school, the lower school girls are pursuing upper school boys and they are touching them and sizing them up.
Let me ask you quickly, because we have to go now, but if there's a gentleman right now, or a woman for that that matter, who wants to come on board to help this situation, how can they contact your group?
So we are on social media at all platforms. The Angelic Ladies Society on Facebook, Instagram, and yes, so the Angelic Ladies Society, you can find us. Once you go on the page, you can DM me, and we can have the conversation from there.
Good job.
All right,
all the
thank
best.
you very much.
Thank you so much.
I hear Matthew Cup Soup Boss agreeing in the background in terms of the things.
Maybe he could join. And
no, when she was speaking about the girls and what they were doing to the young boys, he was in agreement.
Oh, wow. He was a victim?
Kept on saying,
wow.
I said, you know, sometimes we cry out for help in many different ways. Our guest has been Sarah Lou Morgan Walker, project lead and executive director of Angelic Ladies Society. There's more Sunrise after these messages.
Only righteousness increase.